I am aware of what my hair looks like right now. We'll just fix it at the end of the video. Hey, thanks for checking out my video. Let's do a fun little makeup look today. So I'm gonna play around with this guy today. It's the BeautyBay Bright 2.0 palette. This thing is larger than my head, but we have 42 beautiful shades to choose from today. I definitely want to do something colorful. I mean, obviously. I did have a pretty specific idea in my mind like a day or two ago when I was thinking about doing this video and doing a look with this palette, but I've since forgotten it. So I'm gonna kind of wing it. I do have an idea of the colors I want to use. I'm just not 100% sure of how I want to place everything or if it's gonna look good, but we'll give it a go. So my base is pretty much done. I just don't have blush or highlight on. I've tried to learn from my past mistakes, and I'm gonna wait till the eye look is done before I pick a blush because I would like it to match or at least be cohesive. That would be fun, I thought. Okay, so I've had some time to think about what I'm gonna do with this palette. There's a lot of options. I think I wanna do a cut crease today. And again, I wanna play with a lot of colors. I feel like when I do a colorful look, a lot of the time I end up sticking with like a monochromatic look, or I'll play with like maybe 2 colors. And I feel like it's just getting a little bit boring. So I want to play with many, and what better opportunity to play with many than with this palette. I'm either going to go with something like pinky or purple or pinky purple just at the front part, and then I kind of want it to go into a blue and then into a green for the cut crease part. We will see if I have the arm strength to pick up this palette and show you each shade I'm going to use. My arm's already a little tired because this is hefty and I have no upper body strength. To start the look, I'll focus on these 2 shades. So this one is called Rom-Com and the darker purple is called Throne. I might incorporate like a hint of some of these pinks, I'm not sure yet, just because I know I want it to go from purple to blue. So yeah, I'll start with the purple. I might add in some pinks. I might not. And I'm going to start off by going in with the Urban Decay Primer Potion in the shade Eden. I probably didn't need to do that much all over the eyelids since I'm going to cut the crease anyway. But I didn't really think about that till just now, so I'm going to start off with that shade Rom-Com. And I'm just going to kind of pop that in the first part of the crease, and I'm okay if it's a little messy because again we're going to cover up the actual lid with concealer anyway, but I do want the shade to be a little more blown out and kind of prominent, and I'm taking it pretty high just because I know I want to deepen up like closer to the crease area with the darker purple, but I still want the shade to show through, so I'm taking it kind of right to the brow bone almost. So originally I was thinking of using Throne. I might do Mulberry first and then go in with Throne, just to kind of blend these 2 purples into the blue that we're going to use. And I'm still using a fluffy brush, but it's a little bit more dense than the last one was, just because I do want to make sure that the crease portion is like really deep. And then I'll probably use like an even smaller, more precise brush for the deeper shade. I'm really hoping it wasn't a mistake to have done my base first. So far I'm not getting too much fallout everywhere. Hopefully that continues. So I'm going to go in with a slightly smaller brush now with that shade Throne. And I'm going to kind of put it mostly towards this part of where I laid the purple, because again I'm going to transition this into a blue. And this purple has a little bit more of a blue undertone, so I think it'll look more smooth. And I'm just going to really pack some on near the bottom since that's kind of where we're going to cut the crease. I want it to be really defined in that area. So I'm just packing a little more of that pigment on just so it's a little extra deep there. And then still try to blend it out. So I don't want the look to be like half purple. I might have taken it out a little bit too far, but I'm just gonna put the blue like over top of it instead of like beside it. just so it meshes together, but again, so it's not like a fully purple look. So I think I'm gonna try the shade Infinity first, and then I'll blend that out a little bit with the shade Swim. And I'm just gonna go back and forth a little bit between the brushes I used for the purple shades and the blue, just to make sure the blend is really nice. I feel like this eye so far is looking pretty good. This one's like, it's almost there. So I'm just gonna go back and forth a little bit. It's funny how one eye just always looks nicer, like more effortlessly than the other. And by funny, I mean frustrating. So I'm gonna take a somewhat more fluffy brush and go in with that shade Swim. And I'm just gonna blend out on top there. And it's not a hugely light blue, so I don't wanna go too crazy with the blending because I feel like it could end up looking a little patchy. But we'll just try our best. I don't think I'm in love with that shade, at least not using it in this way. I feel like it's like doing the job enough. I just don't love it. I'm gonna mix the two blue shades, so Swim and Infinity. I'm just gonna kind of tap it just to try and make sure everything looks as smooth as possible. I did want the gradient of it going into a lighter blue. I just don't know if this is like the right one. But that's okay, I think it's still looking pretty good. So I think for the green, I'm kind of torn between Kale and Jungle. I wanted something with like a hint of blue in it so it could obviously blend well. So I'm kind of leaning on the shade Kale, and I might blend it out with the shade Island here, and we'll see how that goes. I think I'm gonna mix the shade Kale and Jungle to get the best of both worlds. And I'm gonna start off with just like a little bit on my brush just to kind of see how that goes first. And I'm using this angled brush, but it is still pretty thick and a little dense. And I'm just gonna pack that on the outer corner. And I'm kind of dragging it out, as you can see, into a little bit of a wing shape. But I'm still kind of using packing motions because I want that color to be like really dark and like the most saturated since it's on the outer corner. I'm gonna wing it out just a little bit more. I feel like that's looking pretty good. And it's okay if it's like a little messy down here because it's gonna blend into the shades I use on the bottom anyway. I am thinking I want to blend that out with a lighter green. I just like how the shape is looking and I really don't want to ruin it. But I'm gonna go in with Island as planned. And I'm just using a little bit on this fluffy brush. And I'm just gonna kind of go over top because if it doesn't look good, I don't want it to be all over the place. I do think this is doing a nice job in making it look nice and diffused though. All right, I like where we're at so far. I could use the black to deepen it up a little bit more, but honestly, I feel like I don't need to. I feel like it looks pretty good. Yeah, I'm actually like really impressed. I feel like these blended together pretty nicely. I really don't see like any fallout, so I don't know. I'm liking where we're at so far. Dope. That literally never happens, so awesome. It's gonna be a good day. So here's where things are gonna go downhill, and we're gonna cut the crease and try to make it relatively even. I am radiating with confidence. It's never like the first one that's the concern because I feel like you can maneuver it as many times as you need to and make it look good. It's just like matching it with the second one. It's a toughie, and let's hope and pray we can get them sort of similar. And I say we because this is going to be your fault too if I can't do it properly. So I will not be taking accountability. So I feel like this eye is perfect to me. It's exactly what I wanted. This one like goes up too high on the outside, and I really don't like it. It's not like bad enough of a difference that I think it'll ruin the look. I think I might try to fix it. I feel like it'd be easier just to make this side go a little higher than it would to like undo this side, but we're gonna try to undo this side. Or maybe we'll try like a little bit of both. I liked how this one looked. Actually, that might be okay. It might be even enough now. Okay, so I feel like I want to do maybe like a light green into a yellow into an orange. I just don't know if that would be like too much. I also don't know what I'm going to do on the lower lash line. Okay, I think I'll start with the shade Playground, and I'll kind of blend that into the darker green, and then I'll see how it looks with just the yellow in the middle after that. So I'm going to go in with that shade Playground first. And I might need like another transition between these two shades even, because it is a pretty stark difference. Although they seem to be blending pretty nicely. We'll see. And I'm going to use a flat brush for the shade Playground as well, just to pack it really close to that edge. And then I think I'll go back in with just a little bit of the shade Jungle, just to kind of transition the dark green to the light green a little bit better. Just a hint. And then I'm going to go back in with the shade Playground just to really intensify that, because it's a really pretty shade and I think it'll transition into the yellow really nicely. All right, I think that's looking good. Now I'm scared though to ruin it with maybe the orange. I might just do the orange like here on the lower lash line. I'll see how that goes. I'm going to start with the shade Sunflower, that yellow. Yeah, I think I'm going to like just the yellow instead of adding the orange. So I think I'll stick with that plan because it looks really nice so far. And I'm just going in with that really flat brush that I use to cut out the crease. Just with that shade Sunflower so I can get really close to the edge. I think I'm gonna need some shimmers somewhere just to kind of brighten this look up a little bit. But I do really like how it's coming together so far. Cute! This eye looks more crisp, so I'm just going to try and figure out how to make them match in their crispness. I guess I'll just pack more of this on. And I might pack more of that bright green shade on too. I'm just going to use the same brush and then go back in with that bright green called Playground. Just gonna stamp it on though, because that seems to be helping a little bit. Oh yeah, I think that's good. The trick is to stamp. Stamp, not swipe. Oh, hell yeah. Okay, so I've left the little space open at the front here, and I'm gonna go in with the shade, I guess I'll show you. I'm gonna use the shade Canary in that spot, just because it's a little bit brighter than the shade Sunflower, and I think it'll pop a little more. And I'm actually going to mix Canary with the white shade called Sneakers. Just because I want it to be really bright. Why does one side always just look so effortless? And the other side looks like crunchy. Is it because I'm crunchy? So I think to mesh the yellow with the green a little bit better, I'm going to go in with the shade Lemonade. I used this in a look previously, and I feel like color-wise, it's one of my favorite shades in the palette, but like performance-wise, it's a little mid, it's a little subpar. She's cute, but it's not that impressive. And so for that reason, I'm going to use just a little bit of my NYX Glitter Primer just to make it pop a little more than what I think it will. I feel like I really can't criticize this palette too much though, because I mean, BeautyBay is like a pretty affordable brand. I definitely didn't pay like an arm and a leg for this palette, so I mean, overall it is a really nice palette, and so far like I don't have any complaints about the mattes. I feel like everything looks great. So I feel like if there's like a couple lackluster shimmers, so be it. There's the shade Lemonade. I am gonna blend that out because obviously it looks a little stark now, but I'm just trying to get it placed for now. So I'm actually gonna go in with the shade Sunflower, and I'm gonna use that shade to blend it out just to make sure we keep that yellow there. And that didn't really do anything, so I'm actually just gonna take the shade Lemonade, which is the shimmer shade, and I'm gonna put it on a brush, and I'm gonna try to like blend it out with itself. I'm not having the easiest time blending that out. I'll just take some more on my finger maybe. That's a little better. Yeah, I think that's better. So I'm just gonna mix Canary and Sunflower together, so the two yellows, and I'm gonna kind of pack that over the front part again. I didn't want it to be like a fully green lid. I think that's helping. I don't know, I feel like this part doesn't look good now. I feel like I could see a line there and it's bothering me. But there's not really like a yellow shimmer. I'm just gonna go over one more time. And I'd rather not use a green, but it's kind of the only option. And I think I'll just leave it after that, because I could go back and forth for days apparently. I think I'll leave it there. I feel like it looks cool. I do have to decide on the lower lash line now though. I feel like I've been filming for 3 hours, but it is a more intricate look for me. So now I'm debating if like the orange on the lower lash line will ruin it after all. So I think I'm gonna start with just the green, and then I'll probably think about it for another 3 hours, and then I'll decide what to do after that. So I think I'll use the shade Jungle. It's a little bit more of like the brighter green. And maybe I'll blend that out with Playground instead of doing Playground beside it. Maybe I'll try that. I am going to use Kale just closer to like the outer part of the lower lash line, just because it really has a lot of depth to it and I don't want to lose that. Okay, yes. Okay, I'm liking that so far. And then I'm just going to go back in with this fluffier brush that has some remnants of some of the greens on it. And then I'm just going to kind of blend out what we just put down. And I think I will try the shade Taxi, and if I don't like it, I'll just kind of panic and then go over it with the yellow. I mean, as I mentioned, this is kind of like an in-between shade anyway. It's not like super orange, so it might work out. The question is going to be, what do I use in my waterline? I feel like that did actually blend together better than I thought it would. Yeah, I don't hate it. So I think for the inner part of the lower lash line, I'll just mix the two yellows that I've been using. So Sunflower and then Canary. I feel like it looks cool. I feel like it looks pretty bomb. Hopefully the lashes cooperate with me today. So yeah, I think I will pick out a lash. I'll put on some mascara just so you can see what it looks like with mascara only. And then we'll finish everything up. All right, so this is the look so far with just mascara on. For the waterline, I used 2 eye pencils from LA Girl. I really like these. This one is from the Pastel Dream line, and it's in the shade, oh my god, I can't see this. It's in the shade Magic Mint, and I used that on kind of like the outer half, obviously because more of the greens are there. And then I also used their just regular like Shockwave eye pencils, and this one's in the shade Screamin'. And I use this one in obviously like the front part of the waterline. And yeah, I feel like it looks really good. So yeah, this is how it's looking so far. I did go in with some black liquid liner just along the top part there, just so the lashes kind of have something besides powder to stick onto. But yeah, this is the look so far. I'm, again, really happy with it, and I'm excited to finish it up with the lashes and a lip. So I'll just be back in a minute to show you the final look. All right, and we're back. This is the finished look. I really love it. I think it turned out pretty awesome. I did want to brighten this up just a little more, which I forgot to do. All right, now it's finished. For lashes, I went in with the Lily Lashes and like BoxyCharm collab or whatever this was. It's in the style CEO. I don't know if they have this style anymore. These are like incredibly old, but I mean, they still hold up. They look really nicely. I wanted something that was like really kind of flared out for this look with the kind of shape of the cut crease. Yeah, I feel like it was a good pair. I almost forgot blush and highlight, which I feel like is unlike me because usually I just overdo it in the blush department. But for blush, I used this duo from Fenty Beauty, and I really just used this purple side here, and it's called Sangria Sunset. I would love a sangria right now, but this blush will do. I feel like for once I didn't overdo it. I just did a light wash. And then for highlight, I used the shade Bow and Arrow from Unearthly Cosmetics. And this is what this one looks like. For the lips, I kept it pretty simple, but I went in with this Too Faced lip liner, and it's in the shade Badass. Then I went in with just a little bit of this NYX Butter Gloss, and this is in the shade Tiramisu. It's just kind of like a nice pinky color. And I use that mostly on like the outsides after I put on the lip liner. And then in the center and kind of all over really, I went in with this e.l.f. lip gloss. It's from their Retro Paradise collection, and it's in the shade called A Moment. And it's beautiful. It's like this like really pretty iridescent sparkly color. I will say it's probably the least comfortable lip gloss I've ever used. Like, it's so gritty feeling. But I feel like this collection was also from years ago, so I'm sure they've made better lip glosses since then. But yeah, I thought it was really pretty, so I used it today anyway. And that's the lip combo. That's the whole makeup look. But yeah, I'll give you another close-up because I freaking love this look and I want you to look at it. This hair here is just really trying to take the attention today. Maybe I'll just freaking cut it off. Yeah, anyway, here's the final look. Again, I think it turned out just really bomb, and I'm really excited to take some pictures for Instagram. Honestly, I might film another look with this palette. Like, I've played around with it already and I've done another look, but I might do another look on camera just to really showcase it. I feel like I want to keep playing with it because, I mean, it's so big. But yeah, there's obviously just a lot that you can do with this. I do have another look in mind that I would like to do, and I could definitely achieve it with this color story and the shades that this palette has. So I think I will film another video with this. So we'll do kind of like a 2 looks, 1 palette video. Again, like we may as well. There's 42 shades. I'd like to really kind of show the versatility of this palette. So yeah, as long as I kind of have the time to film another video, you'll see me in just a second for another look. And if I don't have time, then bye! Welcome to look number 2 with this massive palette. So I have an idea of what I'm gonna do today. I've been inspired. I'll post a screenshot somewhere beside me, I guess here, but Angie, or Angelica Neekfist, she posted a story on Instagram of her fresh set, and it sparked some inspiration. So I really liked the kind of 70s color combo. It was giving, you know, really retro vibes. I know Angie's very into that, and I want to do a look that matches that color theme. So I have a couple of options or ideas. I'm not 100% sure how I want to go about this yet. But in the Bright 2.0 palette, this section up here, like, really, it just offers the perfect shades for that kind of look. So one of the kind of, I guess, directions I could go is to do a look with like the shadows that are this color. The other thing I was kind of thinking of is maybe just picking like 1 or 2 of these shades and then maybe going in with like a little graphic liner detail. So I have 2 of these palettes from Glisten, and they kind of have the shades as well that I was thinking of. So I feel like this yellow and this orange really kind of match the theme as well. So I could use either or both of those. And this one was the collaboration with Wendy's World. The other palette I reached for was this other one from Glisten. This was the collab with Rowie Singh, and I feel like either of these browns would also be a good option. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to focus on doing a lot with the eyeshadow and then maybe just like bailing on the graphic liner, or again, I might keep it simple with the shadow and then do something fun with the liner. Originally, I thought it'd be fun to kind of like recreate the shape that Angie had on her nails, but I could kind of foresee myself ruining that somehow. I feel like I'd have to be like a little too crisp and detailed and talented. So I think I'm gonna bail on that idea. Also because I saw Batty Bean's recent video. She was kind of inspired from another look that Lynn's on Instagram did. And it's just like a little like flowery detail. And it looked relatively easy to create. So I feel like if I did like that cutesy little like flower pattern across the crease in those colors, I feel like it would still kind of match the theme. It'd still be a little bit retro 70s vibe. So I might try that. I might just go in like with this all over the lid and then do a bit of like a soft liner with one of the browns. I have a higher chance for success if I keep it simple by doing something like that. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Honestly, I might just take 3 or 4 hours to think about it because I'm indecisive. So maybe I shouldn't have started filming, but I'll be back in a second when I've made up my mind. Okay, I think I've decided. So I think my plan is going to be to primarily go in with the shade Mustard all over the lid. I think I might blend it out with just a hint of either Sunflower or Taxi or both mixed. I'll probably do the white shade on the inner corner. I haven't decided yet about a liner. I might do one of these just along the lash line to give some definition. And then I'm not 100% sure yet, but I'll use a combination of like the yellowy, orangey, and the brown shade that I pointed out before. And I'll probably do like alternating colors of flowers. Hopefully that looks nice. I feel like it's an okay plan. I feel relatively confident in it. It's going to be a vastly different look from the one we did the other day, but I'm excited. I did pick out the shirt on purpose because it kind of matches the warm brownie vibes of the color theme I was going to use today. So I thought I would match. I think that's pretty much it. So I'm going to prime my eyes to start with the primer potion in Eden as usual, and then we'll get into the eye look. Alrighty, so my eyes are primed and my brushes are dirty, so we are ready to go. So I'm just taking that mustard shade on kind of a flat but dense brush, and I'm just going to pack it all over the lid. And I'm just packing that on. I don't really know how high I want to take this. I'm not sure if I want like the little flowers to be on the shadow, like with the shadow in the background or just above the shadow. I think I will kind of make it a little diffused with the lighter colors. And I do want to wing it out just a little bit. I'm going to take some of that same shade on just a little kind of flat brush just to put it under my eyes. I'm like debating, I kind of want this to be like a really light, bright look, but I feel like I also want some of those browns incorporated somehow just so that it matches my shirt. So I feel like I might end up doing that on the liner, but I'll do this first. So I'm going to take, I think I'm going to mix Taxi and Sunflower, those two yellows in the top corner. I'm just going to blend that out. I definitely don't want to take away from the mustard shade we put down, but I wouldn't mind a little bit of brightness. I'm debating which of these browns goes with my shirt. I feel like I should mix Praline and Truffle. I feel like that will kind of give me the best outcome. So I think I'll do that. I think I'll start with like a small, cute little wing like that. I don't want to overcommit to anything. I feel like having it just be like kind of a small detail will really let like the flowers kind of have all of the attention. So I'm just going to do something small. I mean, I say that now, but let's see what it looks like at the end. That's really pretty. Like, is the eyeshadow done? I feel like that was really quick. Just for shits and gigs, I'll put this on the lower lash line as well, just to add a little bit more definition. Do I do a shimmer? There aren't a lot of like shimmer options in this palette. There's like an orangey yellow, but I don't really want that one because it's more orange. But they do have this gold. Maybe I'll do a little bit of this gold. Well, it's already on my finger, so I'm just gonna add a little bit of gold. I'm just hoping this didn't really take away from the mustard shade. I don't think it did. I don't know. I might have taken away from the mustard, but I already did it, so it's fine. I'm gonna go back in with the shade called Mustard, and I'm gonna put that even more on the lower lash line. All right, I think I'm ready to stop stalling, and we'll try to go in with the graphic liner. Okay, so I've wet the yellow. So I just got these brushes from Amazon. I think they're like nail art brushes. So one side has a really thin actual brush, and the other side just has this little like dotting tool. So I'm gonna use the dotting tool, and I'm gonna do like 4 or 5 little tiny circles to make it into a little flower. And I'll try one with the yellow first at the front. Maybe I shouldn't do my very first one at the front because I feel like you'll see that one the most, but we're just gonna do it. I'm nervous. Ooh, my hands are so shaky. I think I might have had too much coffee for this. Oh. I feel like maybe I will do like the 3 alternating. It'd be easier if I did all the yellow ones first and then all the orange so I don't have to keep cleaning this off. But I don't want to like space them incorrectly. I'll just do them alternating, I guess. And let's try an orange one. Like, they don't look that good, but I feel like from far away, they look kind of cute. I mean, Batty Bean in her video did 5 dots, and I feel like it looked perfect. But for some reason, I can only really fit 4. But, I mean, they're not horrible. This channel is about learning, not about teaching. So let's go in. Let's just do the brown. Let's just do it. I will do, this is like a split pan. This is the Rowie Sing palette. So I'm just going to do the lighter one on this side because it matches my shirt. Let's do this. Oh, that's not turning out very well. Maybe I just need to commit to like the 4 dots and stop trying to do 5. I'm getting liner all over me. I got 5. We got 5 petals on there. Perfection. Wow, you can really see the gradual improvement from the first one to the last one. All right, it's looking cute. It's looking cute. We're almost there. Like, this turned out pretty bomb. Look how cute. Oh, I'm so happy with that. I feel like I didn't really incorporate the white. I was gonna do it in the inner corner, so let me do that now. So I'm just gonna put some of that white shade Sneakers on my brush. I'm so sorry if you just heard my neck crack. That was disgusting. And I'm just gonna put some of the white on my inner corner. Oh yeah. That's cute. Maybe I'll just fix that first one a little bit. I think that's good enough. I don't want to ruin it. I am tempted to keep fiddling with it. I feel like it's just going to come together nicely how it is when like the lashes are on. So yeah, I feel like that's gonna be the look. I'm gonna do the other eye off camera so that I can make a reel because Instagram is peer pressuring me to do that. And I'll be back when the look is, I think, complete. All right, so this is the finished look. Honestly, I'm kind of obsessed with how this turned out. I feel like I really had low expectations for my ability, but I really like how it looks. I'll give you a little close-up, even though you didn't ask for one. I did extend the liner a little bit because I accidentally made it longer on this side, so I had to try and make the match. To finish off the look, I just added some of that bright yellow called Sunflower, just in the bottom part there, and then I re-intensified the white in the inner corner. For liner, I went in with the shade Screamin' from LA Girl on pretty much the whole waterline, and then I topped it off with some of this white eyeliner from NYX, just in kind of the front part of the waterline. For lashes, I went in with the Ardell Naked Lashes. I think this is the style 424. I just kind of wanted something like light and fluffy because I really obviously wanted the focus to be on my cute little flowers and not the lashes. So I just popped these on. For blush, honestly, I did the most. I had these face palettes from the BH and Doja Cat collab. Probably the most random things. But I went in with these two shades mixed together on the outer parts of my cheeks, kind of like in like a blush draping sort of way. And then I mixed this kind of goldy bronze shade with the yellow from this palette, and I put that in the front part of my cheeks. I skipped highlight because honestly I was just really excited to finish this video. I really love how the look turned out, so we didn't go in with highlight. And then on the lips, I went in with Anywhere Caffeine from Makeup Forever, and then I topped it off with just this yellow lip oil from Clarins. I don't know if this really has like a shade name. Anyway, it's from the little mini set that I got over Christmas. Obviously the yellow doesn't really show, but I feel like if anything, at least it gives like a warm hue to the lip. But yeah, I mean, it's a really comfortable combo and I feel like it looks really pretty. I obviously haven't used all the shades yet, but I've used quite a few. And I think I mentioned in my last look, or like maybe in one of the last videos I filmed, the shimmers from this palette, at least the couple that I've used, are a little bit lackluster. They're not really anything fancy, but to be honest, like I feel like if the mattes perform really well, I can get shimmers from other palettes, and really I feel like a lot of my looks tend to be a little more matte heavy anyway. But yeah, I don't know, I've really been enjoying this palette. I think especially for the price, it's a really solid palette and I've enjoyed my time with it so far. I'm not 100% sure if I'll have the time yet, but because it is such a big palette, I wouldn't mind like doing one more look. So I'll probably just do the two looks that you've seen already for this video, and then I might just do an extra video of like maybe like a palette bingo or something with this. So yeah, if that's something you might be interested in seeing, let me know. I'll probably do it regardless, to be honest, because it's on my mind and I said it out loud. But yeah, if that's something that you might enjoy watching, then keep an eye out for that video. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna wrap up the video here. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. I'd love to know which of the two looks was your favorite. Honestly, I feel like I'm vibing with this one a little bit more. I just think it's so cute and a little different compared to what I usually do. Although so was the last look, it was also really punchy. And I really love how that turned out too. I don't know, I feel like this one is still probably my favorite though. I'm in a good mood right now. So yeah, thanks again for taking the time to check out my video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!